Ever feel like life's got you in a headlock? Like every time you make a plan, bam, some new challenge just slaps you in the face? Maybe it's that job you didn't get, the exam you bombed, or that project that went absolutely sideways. Whatever it is, you're not alone. We've all been there, and today, we're diving into how to take those struggles, those obstacles, and use them to fuel your success. Sound impossible? Well, buckle up, because by the end of this video, you're gonna feel ready to take on anything life throws your way. Welcome to Overcoming Obstacles, a guide to success, your one-stop shop for turning challenges into triumphs. Let's go. So here's the thing, you can't fight what you don't understand. Ever tried playing a video game where you have no idea what the objective is? Yeah, you'd be running in circles, mashing random buttons, and hoping something works. Life can feel like that sometimes, but what if you could spot the obstacles standing between you and your goals? Kinda like how you'd spot the bad guys in a game. Spoiler alert, you can. Your first mission, should you choose to accept it, is to recognize what's holding you back. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's self-doubt. Maybe it's your habit of doom scrolling on social media when you should be working. No judgment, we've all been there. Or maybe you're just procrastinating because, let's be real, getting started is the hardest part. The trick is to look at your life like you're Sherlock Holmes. What are the things that trip you up on the regular? What's that one recurring roadblock that's got you feeling stuck? Once you can name your obstacle, you can fight it. All right, you've identified your obstacles. Great. Now it's time to hit the gym. Not literally, unless you want to, but mentally. We're talking about mindset, the secret sauce to overcoming anything. And let me tell you, a strong mindset is like having a cheat code in life. Here's the deal. Life is about 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond. That's facts. Think of it this way. Two people face the same problem. One thinks, why me? This is impossible. While the other says, all right, how can I turn this mess into something useful? Which one do you think ends up finding a solution? Spoiler. It's the one with the growth mindset. Imagine every obstacle you face as a challenge in a video game. Instead of whining about how tough it is, what if you saw it as an opportunity to level up? I mean, no one enjoys the easy levels anyway, right? You need the tough ones to feel like you've accomplished something. This mindset shift is the first big key to success. Instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, start seeing them as opportunities to grow, learn, and dare I say win. Let's talk goals. If life is a video game, your goals are like the checkpoints. You know where you're headed, but you need some solid markers to keep you on track. Otherwise, you're just wandering aimlessly, hoping to run into success by accident. Spoiler, that never happens. Think of goal setting like building a skyscraper. No one wakes up and says, hey, let me just build the tallest building in the world, and start stacking bricks randomly. Nah, they've got blueprints. They've got a plan. And the same goes for you. Start with the foundation, your small, actionable goals. Maybe it's getting a project done. Maybe it's hitting the gym 3 times a week, or finally finishing that book you started months ago. Once you start building, you can add levels, those bigger goals that scare you, but also make your heart race in a good way. And hey, let's be real. Sometimes those goals will change. Life's like that. But the beauty is, you've got a solid foundation, so even when things shift, you'll know how to rebuild. It's not about having a perfect plan. It's about having any plan and being flexible enough to tweak it when needed. Here's the tea. You will fail. Yep, I said it. No sugarcoating. But here's what people don't tell you. Failure isn't the end of the story. It's the plot twist. Picture this. You're watching your favorite show, everything's going smoothly, and suddenly, bam, the hero gets knocked down. But what keeps you watching? The comeback. It's the comeback that makes the story worth it. Failure is inevitable, but it's also your best teacher. Some of the most successful people you look up to? Yeah, they've failed more times than they've succeeded. J.K. Rowling got rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter became a thing. Thomas Edison made 1,000 unsuccessful attempts at inventing the light bulb. Imagine if they had given up at the first failure. We'd be living in the dark, y'all. Failure gives you valuable data. It's like life saying, okay, not that way, try something else. It's a feedback loop. Instead of wallowing in the why me vibes, get curious. What went wrong? How can you tweak things? Turn that L into a lesson, and suddenly failure's not so scary anymore. Alright, so you failed. It sucked. You learned your lesson. Now what? You keep going. This is where persistence comes in. And let me tell you, persistence is seriously underrated. Everyone loves to talk about success, but nobody talks enough about the grind that happens behind the scenes. The late nights, the early mornings, the times when you'd rather binge watch an entire season of a show than put in the work. Persistence is showing up on the days you don't feel like it. It's about putting one foot in front of the other, even when the finish line feels a million miles away. You know what's crazy? Most people give up right before they're about to break through. You're grinding, you're hustling, and it feels like nothing's happening. But just on the other side of that struggle, that's where the magic is. Every small step forward, no matter how tiny, is progress. It's like compound interest. It builds up over time. You've just got to keep showing up. Now let's get into the squad goals. Yeah, you're strong, you're persistent, but let's be honest, nobody makes it alone. Who you surround yourself with matters. Like, a lot. You ever heard that saying, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with? Well, it's true. If you're constantly hanging out with people who complain, who are stuck in the same place, or who don't push themselves, guess what? That energy is contagious. But if you're surrounding yourself with people who are hustling, who are chasing their dreams, and who push you to be better, you're gonna level up by association. Think of your circle like a team in a relay race. You're all running the same race, but you gotta hand off the baton at some point. If your team isn't on the same page, if they're lagging or not taking it seriously, it's gonna drag you down. But if they're in sync, hyped up, and running just as fast, you're going to win together. Alright, so you've got the mindset, you've set your goals, you've learned from failure, and your squad is hyped. Now comes the most important part. Action. You've got to get off the sidelines and into the game. Dreams are awesome. Everyone's got dreams, but dreams don't mean anything if they stay in your head. You can't Netflix your way to success, sorry. You've got to move, even if it's messy, even if it's scary. Take that first step. It doesn't matter if it's small. Just take it. You ever notice how things start to happen when you actually start moving? It's like the universe is just waiting for you to show up. Once you do, doors start opening, opportunities pop up, and the momentum builds. It's like riding a bike. The hardest part is getting started, but once you're moving, it gets easier. So here's the thing. You've got what it takes to succeed, and those obstacles? They're just part of the journey. Remember, success is a marathon, not a sprint. It's filled with bumps, plot twists, and unexpected turns. But that's what makes the story worth telling. With the right mindset, goals, squad, and persistence, you've already won half the battle. Now go out there and make it happen. And hey, if this video got you hyped, don't stop here. Check out my other videos on staying motivated, setting killer goals, and leveling up your productivity. Hit that subscribe button, and let's keep crushing it together. You got this.